asshole. I'm gonna ask this once and only once. Where's Walker?
Don't hurt me. All right, I've told you all the information I have.
We still have a job to do.
assholes ran away! Find them ASAP!
Visual on the target. Find them before they escape.
Find them!
on enemy troops.
Let's get moving. They took out a friendly.
Stay focused. Kill anything that moves. Come. Stay here.
No, man! You know, part of me is glad you're still alive. It's too bad I'm gonna have to kill you.
You could just give up!
Hey, you know me better than that.
I don't know you at all anymore. The Walker I knew never would have been a part of this. And he never would have killed his own.
I've been trying to show you, you got no vision on what the future could be. No, man. It's not too late. You could join me.
You killed my soldiers! And you made me kill my friend!
Now you're making me kill mine. though, man. Wonderland. It's still gonna happen.
This is the hot part of Bolivia.
Who's that?
Eat my shit.
Only if you cuddle me after. Well. You must be Nomad.
Walker.
Did you and I go through part of selection together?
No, it was jump school. I was in the chalk next to yours.
That's right. With that, dude from Pararescue, right? First Recon guys.
Fun times, man.
Now I got some more fun for you. This here's your briefing. Say, you want some candy?
Hey.
Excuse me.
We haven't even started this mission. Command's already talking about sending us back to the Middle East.
Again? And that's one that never ends.
That's because, war's easier in peace. Company man back there, who you never saw, by the way, he believes in this fantasy. It's called Wonderland, where people never fight. It's all rainbows and marshmallows and unicorns and shit, but, I guess we could talk about that another time.
Yeah.
Say, Nomad. It's good to see you.
You too, man. You stay healthy.
Always.
Look what your Wonderland got you. You are a better man than this, Walker. Nomad to Air 1. I'm plugged in. Transmit that virus.
Understood. We're sending now.
Nomad to Air 1. Mission accomplished.
That's amazing to hear. I'll let everyone know.
I'm heading back. Make sure Matt saved me some of that moonshine.
Contact! I got hostiles!
Whatever that was, I'm gonna go after it.
You better not screw up what we've got going on here.
see any of those roadblocks while you were gone?
Getting harder to dodge Sentinel drone patrols. Or it's only a matter of time.
I guess we're stuck here a little while longer, huh?
Well, we stopped Walker from taking the drones off the island. That's not small potatoes.
Y'all know what Wonderland is? Walker mentioned it. Other people working for him and Stone mentioned it too.
I heard Walker and Stone talk about it, but I never got a full explanation.
Sounds like Lewis Carroll. Alice in Wonderland?
Yeah. Yeah, he said I couldn't stop it.
Oh, forget about it, all right? This island is full of crazy billionaires. People who think they're wolves. Killer robots. And military contractors. But it is also full of really, really good people. And we got together and we did something good, and we should be proud of that.
I'll drink to that.
Look at those birds.
Those aren't birds.
That's fascinating.
You didn't program that.
Aruhi! It would seem that Icarus is not the only one aiming for great heights.
This is Stone. Miles, just because you pay my bills, it don't make me your bitch. Well, I don't know how Scal took control of that sector, but it doesn't have it now. How's that? Well, you tell the big boss not to get his panties in a twist. Oh, well. I'm on the island. So with Walker gone, I guess that puts me in charge.
What's next? What is going on with these drone swarms? Did your program introduce a glitch or something?
It's, the drone swarm AI. That one swarm controller in particular, it went autonomous. Like, completely autonomous. Sentinel doesn't control it.
But neither do we.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Not necessarily. It's still running Operation Citadel, and it's also running a lot of other subroutines. But we've been locked out again. We have no access to the program.
Plain English, genius. What's gonna happen with this AI, and will it let us off this island?
The AI is demonstrating emergent behavior. You can't anthropomorphize it. It doesn't think the way people do. It can't let us do anything. But it doesn't make it less amazing.
In other words, we're shit out of luck. I'm gonna miss Fox.
I already do.
What was his job, anyway?
He was a mathematician, but unofficially, he was the Pexplo Man.
What is that? Some indie superhero reference?
Pexplo Man is an abbreviation for the Perpetual Exploding Man. It's the title of an old sci-fi novel we both read. It's about a telepathic private eye, very inside joke. We called Fox Pexplo Man around the office because he was just so enthusiastic. His reaction to every good idea, it was like his mind was blown.
Yeah. Surprised he kept Ayana being a source of secret. Figured he'd brag about something like that.
He had a good spirit, you know, but it shows you. You never really know another person, what they're thinking.
Unless you're a telepathic private eye.
Yeah, Pexplo Man.
Tell me what else you know about Miles. I've only met him unofficially.
You know those guys who are somehow everywhere? Know everyone? That was Miles.
Made a lot of intros, huh?
He made all the introductions. He introduced me to a whole new network of people, and I put them all on my team.
He sounds like the kind of government contact an entrepreneur would love to have.
I'm not an idiot. I knew he had his own goals. I just never imagined they'd include taking over my own company.
Walker's dead.
You?
Yeah.
If Walker's dead, why are we still hiding in a cave?
He was middle management. Stone's still out there working with Miles and who knows who else. Citadel is still operational. This is far from over.
You were friends, right? I don't know what to say. He wasn't really...
I know what you mean. We could spend all day listing his sins and we'd still have plenty more to check off tomorrow.
Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and slander be put away from you, along with all malice.
You know that one from memory?
You don't get rich trying to be right all the time. I've had to forgive a lot of people, and I've had to ask for forgiveness, too.
Hey, at what point did you stop being a part of Walker and Stone's plan?
I told you. They took the company from me.
And that's why you ran?
They were supposed to be running their test of the lethal drones out in the Thar Desert in Rajasthan. Instead, they tested their linchpin models.
What's a linchpin model?
Their idea is that killing a key individual, a linchpin, will put a chain of events in motion that will cause a desired outcome.
Like killing Franz Ferdinand started World War I.
They wanted to start some chaos between India and Pakistan. The models were flawed, but it almost worked. I tried to put a stop to it. That's why they took over. That's why I had to run.
We still have a ways to go. What do you plan to do when this is over?
You mean with Aroa? With Skeltec?
Assuming Miles is out of the picture.
You're assuming I don't go to prison.
Ah, come on. CEOs don't go to prison. Your expensive lawyers will keep you out of trouble.
You caught me in hyperbole, but I'll still have to start all over again. From scratch. I have installations all over the world, but losing Aroa is a major setback. You can't design a new world inside the confines of the old one.
Well, if you take any military contracts, you better hire me. Because I'm not gonna trust you working with anybody else.
Deal.
I take it you spoke with Ayana Puri.
Yeah, she's still pretty shaken up, I think.
Oh, I think she's cool as a cucumber.
No, she's not like you. She thinks showing her emotions makes her look weak. It's a business thing.
Switching sides is a business thing, too.
I don't like everything she did, but she did do her best to protect the staff. nomad. I ran away. But she stayed. She looked out for the rest of Skeltec.
She seems more cloak and dagger than business suit. But I'll admit, we're always a better place with her than without her. I suppose you got tricked into inviting private military contractors into Aroa.
Well, I mean, not exactly. We're self-governing.
You used to be.
Okay, we used to be. We needed security. Not just as a police force, but as security. At least that's what Miles got me to finally admit.
Against pirates and the Moment and such?
Our drone security was limited. It still is. If unauthorized people land, we would know about it, but we couldn't do anything about it.
You're obviously not afraid of squatters. You were afraid of corporate spies.
We do get spies from time to time. Don't tell the shareholders, but the more our tech discoveries are disseminated throughout the world, the better off it'll be. But I was worried about the safety of our staff, the bombing. I just never imagined the antibiotics would be more deadly than the illness. Sentinel snuck a private army into the abandoned U.S. military complexes. Stone's been planning this takeover from day one. My colleague, Ayana Puri, who dealt with this, certainly has a better picture.
Hey, genius. I always thought you were more of a pacifist. Gotta say, though, it's a damn shame you had to start making lethal drones.
I was naive, I guess. I always hope for the best out of people, you know? When a bomb goes off and I meet the wrong person at the worst time, I bought their logic that if you want peace, carry a big stick line of reasoning. Stone even said, doesn't God have his avenging angels guarding the gates of paradise? It never felt right here. We're building heaven on earth. And we're not gods.
Is that why you kept it secret? Project Omega? Because, you know, some people might look at it as a PR shield, keeping the image of a pacifist while making money on weapons.
PR is important, but you don't wear a seatbelt because you're planning to get into a car crash, right?
You have to be cautious.
Right.
So, what does a billionaire arms dealer do? You know, whenever he's not manufacturing killing machines.
Skeltec is responsible for an extensive catalog of inventions over the past decades.
I'm listening.
Our first economically viable autonomous machine was the Skell Farmer, a harvester capable of recognizing the range and ripeness of crops. Since then, it's found unintended utility in mining and forestry.
So explain to me how you got here. From farming drones to war machines.
Our next invention, the Skell Transporter, was the first affordable smart delivery device, a new standard in the industry. The Skell Doctor may interest you, an advanced cousin specialized to carry sensitive medical supplies. You could easily shoot one out of the sky to steal its payload.
Could be useful.
Our Cherubim City and Sky models behave like mobile CCTVs, capable of facial and behavioral identification, and alert authorities in real time. I suggest you steer clear of them if you want to move undetected.
I'll keep that in mind.
My point is that I have dedicated my life to improving the human condition and relieving the population from the crushing weight of repetitive work.
Well, let's see if we can make sure your legacy's intact at the end of this. You healed up from the bombing attack? I mean, in your head?
Yeah, well, I had to deal with the aftermath. First team to inspect the site. I still remember all those broken windows, shattered shards of glass. I kept thinking, we can fix those, we can fix those. I got the windows fixed, but I stopped scheduling non-vital meetings in the Skell Foundation head office. It's different than when you see something on TV. It's just reporters and sirens. It's the smell. So acrid it singes your nostrils, like the energy around you has been sucked away, you know?
Yeah, I do.
And the bombers were never caught. We never knew if another one was coming. We suspected the outcast, but now that Sentinel's taken over, I wonder.
You're the one who asked Sentinel to step in.
Yeah, that's on me.
Hey, I've been hearing about that World 2.0 stuff. And maybe the world needs a software patch, but a utopia? Really?
People out there in the rest of the world, they think the Earth's dying. They have this belief in scarcity. They think that we'll run out of energy, out of space, or out of water, or anything. And that makes every day a crisis.
And World 2.0 would fix that crisis?
It was more about fixing that mentality. I wanted to show the rest of the world that with innovation, with creativity, and with a little courage, it's easy to see the universe is abundant.
And how about now?
It's still an abundant universe. That hasn't changed. Just, I thought I could keep out jealous people. And the cowards.
No getting away from them.
No. I'm probably not as brave as I want to be either.
When did you get away from using dollars?
You like the Screds?
I don't understand them.
They're a cryptocurrency. As much as we could, we wanted to get away from the control of international banking.
But it's a made-up money.
All money is made up. It only has value because we all agree on it as a medium of exchange. Everyone in a row agrees to use Screds. And Scale-Tech makes sure to create a limited supply.
So if we all agree to use your play money instead of dollars, the economy still works the same way?
Money's only worth what you think it's worth.
My mind blown. That outcast bombing must have hit you pretty hard.
Maybe you read about it. I lost my wife in the September 11th attack on the World Trade Center.
Sorry. I didn't know. I guess I can't blame you for bringing in Stone and Sentinel.
Do you know what it feels like to lose someone?
Yeah, I do.
You get all torn up inside. You get to feel like you're falling, but it's an endless fall. You grab hold of anything you can.
So what am I grabbing hold of now?
I don't know. Us. We need you, Nomad. But you probably need us every bit as much.
Stay out of trouble.
Focus is my forte.
Angela and Alicia volunteered to help out over at the homestead, so we're good there. All right, everyone's got their assignments.
You take care of your people like a good NCO.
They're their own people. We've no leaders here. Even so, I guess most people do look to me.
Probably what Uncle Sam saw in you, I'd bet. Where'd you serve?
26 Expeditionary. I was infantry in Liberia and the Balkans. UN support off the Somali coast.
NCO pension didn't suit you?
I got tired of fighting over oil. So when the good old US of A stopped pretending we had any other purpose, so did I. Served out the rest of my enlistment and decided to stay.
That's too bad about Fox.
I had my doubts about him at first. I wondered how Fox could have had a kid with as much spirit as Harmony. Just figured it must have been her mother.
I guess Maria will look after Harmony.
Of course. Fox may not have had any of your skill, but he stood up for what he cared about.
That's all a person can hope to do. Weird having the woman from all those propaganda videos walking around.
I don't trust her.
She did what she could to stay above ground. You were doing the same.
And what did she really do? Send a few videos?
You make it sound easy.
If she could end all this by handing any of us over to Stone, what choice do you think she'd make? 'Cause me? I don't know.
How come you didn't mention the outcast before?
Outcasts? They're just disgruntled Skeltech folks, having an attack of conscience. They mostly just make noise, loud protests and theatrics.
Haven't you got an enemy in common?
Whatever Skell does to the rest of the world's got nothing to do with us. And if the outcasts have something they want to atone for, that's their business. We were here before all of them, and we'll be here after.
If I was you, I would have left the island when Skeltech moved in.
Skell wasn't so bad at the start.
Until he made killer drones and turned the island into an exclusion zone?
Obviously.
Yep. Technology can be a pain in the ass.
Yep.
I'm sorry about those folks who died trying to make it to the Wasp.
Appreciate you saying so, I guess. I ain't left Aroa since I decided to stay. Most of us that were homesteading here, we made a point of cutting ourselves off from everything.
Small price to pay for paradise.
Once. But now we can't leave.
So you pay a higher price to take it back?
Maybe. But these people aren't warriors. Whatever survived, I get the feeling it wouldn't be the same. Aroa'd be ruined. Just another place where people died.
When you come around that corner, it's all blockaded off.
Looks like the outcasts are just stupid protest kids with too much high explosive.
What are you talking about?
They never meant to kill anyone.
Is that supposed to be an excuse?
They may be dumb as shit, but we need all the help we can get.
Some help ain't worth it.
They got people everywhere. You got people here. We need them. They'll get better.
I hope so.
You homesteaders must hate Skeltech's automated farms.
I'm sure some of us would jump at the idea, so long as it meant they were still off-grid.
Come on. Seriously? I thought you guys were about living off the earth, being one with nature and all that stuff.
Where'd you get that hippie crap? People got different reasons for being here, Nomad.
What are yours?
They're mine, is what they are.
A lot of new faces around.
Yours included.
It's good of you. Sharing your food, patching us up, giving us a place to rest. I know it must be a strain.
Something on your mind?
I'm wondering, how long is this place gonna be a secret?
You think I haven't thought of that? Or what happens if one of these victims turns out to be a Sentinel soldier? I owe my people. I know that. I'll do whatever I have to protect them, first, last, and only if it comes to that.
I get it. But first you have to survive. So is living in a cave your idea of homesteading?
With Sentinel stomping through the wild, we needed someplace off-grid. Wasn't always like this, you know. Used to be better.
Yeah?
Sure. Even with Skell and everything. Won't say it was like we were swapping recipes and PTA carpooling, but we got along. There was respect. Things took a turn after the bombing, though.
Got bad, huh?
Started with the curfews and checkpoints. Sentinel soldiers beating people, snatching them up. It's like some kind of nightmare. We had to run. We ain't cut out to fight a war.
And the tighter Sentinel's grip got, the worse it got.
We're simple people. But we're living like vermin, and these soldiers are hunting us down. We hide here, and we make the best of it.
Yeah, I've seen this before. Too many times.
I'm sure you have.
I'll talk to you later.
See ya.
I was passing one of the ancient villages the other day.
Walker's dead.
No matter what happened, I know it wasn't easy. I talk a lot of shit, but I'm sorry things went down this way.
I was so angry. Seeing the things he did and what he became. I thought I'd feel better.
Dude, don't beat yourself up. You're still human.
This is bigger than Walker. He was a symptom, and this disease is systemic.
It goes pretty high, doesn't it?
What worries me is what takes Walker's place.
Whoever it is, we'll be ready.
I hope so, brother. This is a pretty fancy setup for some backwoods yokels.
You're telling me. I've seen a lot of this stuff before, like in army hospitals, if you get my drift.
Wouldn't doubt it.
This is as good as any med hooch we've ever had.
Yeah, well, all things being equal, I'd rather be in one of our camps. At least I know I signed up for it. How you holding up?
Shit, man, I'm golden. Hang on, I've been working on my dance routine.
You probably need to get out of that bed first.
Yeah, my audition at Juilliard may have to wait.
I hope you have a backup plan. 'Cause that leg's done.
This is killing me. I'm useless here.
You've helped these people.
Sure, I talked them through some guard rotations and security protocols, but still.
We're all doing what we can. I'd rather have you in the fight, but at least I know this place is locked down.
I just can't stand thinking I'm slowing you down.
I'm just glad you're still around to bug the shit out of me.
Bite me.
Well, look at that. You're still in bed.
Eat shit.
You'll heal, old man.
Things are kinda out of control, huh?
You can say that.
Dude, I've been in this game for a long time, you know? But I've never seen anything like this.
Bottom line, if we don't keep up with the technology, it'll take care of us, one way or another. I hate being stuck on this island.
It's growing on me. I love the trees.
You're an idiot.
Yep.
Well, I'm glad you like it so much, since it doesn't look like we're leaving anytime soon.
Who wants to leave? Things are just getting interesting.
That's for damn sure.
So, what do we do now?
What we always do. We take the fight to them. This shit is hardly over.
We need help. There's good people here.
Yeah. First, we gotta help them get control back. Then we figure out who the hell is driving this bus. And smoke them.
Hell yeah.
You know, I guess I am glad you survived that crash.
Love you too, buddy. Cocktail?
How about two? Later, brother.
Later.
Now that the AI's been let loose, what'll happen next?
It's gone wild. By definition, it's unpredictable. Your guess is as good as mine.
But you've known all the factors, the conditions from the beginning.
Yes, I always had a feeling this would happen. It was trust, really. A lingering hope that they would be able to control it, like they said they would. It's hard not to feel cynical about that hope now.
So that's it. That's all you have to say.
I can't deny that this outcome serves some. Maddox, for example, must be having a field day.
Great. Should I pop the champagne then? Sounds like a real party. Why the fixation on the R&D Center? Project Omega.
Omega was a secret project initiated after the terrorist attack.
The Outcast attack.
Skell only selected his top-performing employees for it. He demanded utmost loyalty. Blind loyalty, because Omega went against everything Aroa stood for.
He needed to know Project Omega would be in the right hands.
And stay in the right hands. The R&D Center is the heart of the whole lethal drones operation. The fount of all ideas, all designs.
You seem to know a lot about it.
I used to work there.
Ah, it all makes sense now.
Reserve your judgments. Look, they have an army of scientists whose sole purpose is to engineer a mechanical superkiller.
That's a lot of manpower.
Brain power. Just think of what all that gray matter could have accomplished under the right encouragement. They corrupted noble intentions.
Huh. What's that saying again? The road to hell is paved or something?
I suffer every day for my mistakes. I will never forgive myself.
Well, maybe that's a start then. Nowhere to go from here but up. Okay. So, what is World 2.0? I mean, what is it to you?
Imagine if you had the power to solve all of the world's problems through technology, innovation, and sustainable development. World 2.0 is an opportunity for us to re-establish the link between mankind and the environment.
So, a utopia.
A utopia is unrealistic. Do I dream of a perfect world? Yes, but I'll settle for a better one. The joy of people coming together to achieve something bigger than themselves. That's the goal. A place where everyone can be the best version of themselves.
You make it sound lovely. Still don't get how Skell could be interested in both Maddox and you. You're like night and day.
I would have said the same. Maddox was my opposite in every way, but here we are, both working on controlling killer drones.
Well, that's hardly a resemblance.
Still goes to show how stars can realign given the right circumstances. Skell always was the kind to trust his instincts.
Doesn't matter if you're doing the same things. The motivation behind them make all the difference.
I left my noble intentions behind a long time ago.
So how do you really feel about Project Deus?
Project Deus is a sect. Almost a cult. It's ridiculous.
Oh?
There are no gods in machines. Computers are tools, nothing more. They obey and carry out what we will of them.
Don't hold back now.
It's infuriating. Sadly, there is a certain power in what Maddox is trying to do. She has influence, and it has gotten her far.
What happens next?
I don't know. She's unstoppable when she puts her mind to something. All we can hope for is divine intervention before things get dangerous.
You all right? Sentinel must have been an ordeal.
They are the filthy scum of the Earth. Everything's been worse since they came to Aroa. Security?
That bad, huh?
They're an occupational force here to control and intimidate.
Seems to be working. They've got a lot of people scared.
Some are starting to push back. I might not be a fighter like you are, but I will always resist them, whatever way I can. That's why I built the energy cell for the outcasts.
And that went to hell in a handbasket.
You don't need to remind me. I just wanted them to have a source of electricity that wasn't hijacked from the Skell network. Keep them truly off-grid. One thing's for sure. I need to take better care in who I trust.
The tech on this island is really something else. I didn't realize 3D printing had gotten so sophisticated.
What you've seen is just the tip of the iceberg. Seriously, I'm thrilled with what's on the horizon. The printing alone, it's nothing short of remarkable. I'm so stoked about it.
What's the latest?
Basically, all they need are the raw materials, and they can produce pieces that surpass anything I've ever seen in traditional mass production. Properties like elasticity, thermal resistance, density. This printer of theirs can match it perfectly.
I can tell it's something you're really passionate about.
You have no idea. This is revolutionary. Seriously, all they need to do is imagine a specific part, feed the design into the computer, and the printer can produce it in a matter of minutes. The possibilities are endless.
That does sound pretty remarkable. There's a recycling facility on Aroa, yeah?
There sure is. Skell had this vision of making Aroa completely autonomous and self-sufficient. The recycling program was right at the heart of that. Almost everything here can be recycled and reused.
What about the things that can't be recycled?
Well, there are a few vintage objects, hazardous elements and pieces that can't be directly recycled. Those things are sent by autonomous ships to the Windy Islands. It's a cluster of small islands, just south of the archipelago. There's a more robust recycling center there. It's mostly deserted.
Which is probably why the outcasts decided to set up their base there.
That makes sense. It's an ideal location, really.
Hey, Madeira, you know anything about the composite factory? The one in Smuggler Coves?
Yes, that's where they produce all the raw materials needed to build the drones. All of the alloys, plastics, and composites. You know, like carbon fiber and epoxy. It all happens in that factory. It plays a pretty vital role in the process and manufacturing of the drones.
How are they able to get all of those materials and resources?
They're extracted from the local mines and then reprocessed. It's a pretty effective system they've developed over there, actually.
That open pit mine in Mount Hodgson seems pretty unusual for a place like this.
It's not that unusual, actually. All the mines of Aroa are open-pitted. There are a lot of mines on other islands, but Aroa is really a geological anomaly. We have such an extremely high concentration of minerals that open-pitted mining made the most sense. Of all the different types of mining methods, it has the highest yield. I don't love the impact it has on the landscape or the environment, but it's the most cost-effective choice.
Those mines seem ripe for exploitation and profit.
They are. The brain matter of the drones, the very motherboards and electronics, are crafted from the minerals of those mines. It's simply an invaluable resource.
There's a detention center by Liberty. What's the history behind it?
It's basically a jail. It's fairly modernized, heavily guarded, and very protected. After the Outcast bombing, Sentinel Corp built it to lock up those people who threatened the security and safety of people living on the archipelago.
Well, I'm sure Sentinel only has the best of intentions.
Well, it's pretty ominous, actually. The people living there are just waiting for the law to decide what to do with them. I think it's inhumane.
Dollars to donuts, Sentinel sure as hell won't give him a fair trial. The Arrow. That flying drone test zone in Restricted Area 01. What else do you know about it?
Oh, that place? They call it the Arrow because it's shaped like the edge of an arrow. Go figure, right? Anyway, yes, it's where they launch the drones and test how they operate at low altitudes. The drone's AI is challenged by the topography of fjords, which is why that area was specifically chosen for testing.
So is the platform built into a mountain or something?
Yes, actually. It's built on the side of a mountain on the edge of the fjords. They come and go from a platform hidden right in the middle of the mountain range.
Fascinating. Is it just me, or is there this real Area 51 vibe about the training center in that restricted area?
You've been watching too many of those old sci-fi shows, but I get why it... size of a small city that's filled with fake buildings. It helps the drones train for urban defense scenarios.
Or urban invasion scenarios.
I don't know about all that, but soldiers from Sentinel Corp do use it to train alongside lethal drones. It's all very top-secret, hush-hush stuff, done to preserve the safety and integrity of Aroa.
Oh, I get it. Stay safe.
You too.
How did you buy Aroa in the first place?
I didn't buy it. I leased it. Aroa's technically part of New Zealand, but the U.S. had leased it for years.
Yeah. That's why there's the old naval station. But wouldn't it have been easier to rent a chunk of California or something? I'm sure there's a big stretch of Mojave that nobody wants.
Yeah. The abandoned naval station here piqued our interest initially, hoping we could piggyback on the Cold War infrastructure. That was a wash. But once we had visited Aroa, its biodiversity won us over. Good Hope Mountain has ice, Infinity is surrounded by fields, and the swamps of Finn Bog sport as harsh a conditions as any good drone tester could wish for. We fell in love with the place. I bought the lease from the U.S. government.
And now these are your islands. No government but Skeltec.
Well, avoiding government regulation was a factor.
Oh, I'll bet it was. I met a lot of Skeltec employees who are mad at you.
The outcasts. Sentinel hasn't taken care of them yet?
They're idiots. But right now, they have resources and personnel that we need.
So we have to work with them?
For now. But I'm not getting too attached. I need more about Paula Madeira. How long have you known her?
Years. I hired her right out of grad school. Actually, she was still in grad school. She was only 20, but she was just so smart. I knew that with her, I could lay the foundation of Skeltec's advanced drone program.
But are you friends? Was there something else going on, or what? There's something here I'm missing.
I think hiring her so young, she never really learned the art of adapting. She didn't like working with Walker. I could have handled her differently. I know I need to talk to her about that.
You didn't answer my question.
It hurt. She was so special and one of the first to truly believe. And in hindsight, she was also right. She saw right through Walker. She was immune to his charm. And I was deaf to her warnings.
Listen, I get that Maddox isn't exactly warm and friendly. But why do people hate her?
They don't hate her as much as they fear humanity's evolutionary destiny.
Whoa, that's a little intense. Even for you.
Grace Maddox is in charge of Skeltec's transhumanist research, Project Deus. Yeah, on a personal level, she's not, fun.
Yeah, she's also really into herself.
Sure, she's really effective. I gave her a huge budget. She wants more.
You give it to her?
Ayana Puri, my CFO, wouldn't let me. So Maddox cut costs. Instead of spending the time to perfect a true quantum computer, she developed a DNA-based computer that behaves like a quantum computer.
And you know what she's doing with that?
She plans to download her mind onto that computer. I know it sounds a little crazy and unbelievable, but someone will do it. And she should be first.
Genius. I need you to tell me everything you can about all the lethal drones out there.
Of course. Anything I can do to help undo what I've done. It all started with 2 basic military training drones. The Incubus for ground and its airborne sister, the Succubus. They were then multi-purpose, giving birth to new models. Eamon and his flying sibling Murmur were taught to patrol areas in the wild. Ime and Malphus were designated for location defense. The meanest models were Andrus and Stalis, search and destroy drones that the wolves just love.
I'm sure they're all perfectly tailored for whatever Walker's got in mind. Go on.
Behemoths are massive tank-like machines with incredible firepower. You'll mostly find them guarding infrastructure and strategic assets. Azraels, on the other hand, are long-range, high-altitude spy drones. They're capable of recon over a wide array of land and utilize heat sensors and pattern recognition to identify threats and intrusions. They aren't very well suited for battle, though. They mostly just point out targets so that strike forces can do the dirty work.
Thanks, genius. Wish me luck. Explain something to me, this Titan program. Why in the hell would you think it was a good idea to build giant killing machines? Aren't lethal drones enough?
I recognize that smaller drones are already deadly and far more cost-efficient, but I was influenced.
Walker.
He was always complaining that the existing drones didn't have enough media presence. These days, wars are fought on television screens. He wanted titans that could exude charisma and raise hope and simultaneously suffocate the spirit of a nation.
Sounds charming.
I find that once I'm given a task, my inspiration is fueled by the vacuum. I knew that what Walker wanted was entirely unnecessary for counterterrorism, but I got carried away. Now I shudder to imagine what he intended the whole time.
You're not the only one. I've been wondering, when did you start working on your killer drones?
About 1 year ago, after the Outcast bombing, I let Miles convince me to begin the Omega Project. I was terrified. I wasn't seeing things clearly. Certainly not the possibilities of the Omega Project.
Don't give me that. I met your director of R&D in Bolivia back in 2019. Daniel Rodriguez Arellano. He was working as a double agent for Unidad and the CIA.
Yes, fine. I remember him. He was a brilliant engineer who fell in with some undesirables in his home country and began leaking intelligence about secret technologies. I offered him a safe haven for his family, hoping that it would put a stop to the leaks. But Daniel was greedy. He seemed to thrive on his double life. What does it prove?
I had no idea you were so well-informed. But then you ought to know about the Omicron Project blueprints that Daniel was carrying. The Incubus drone hasn't changed much since 2019. Seems to me you had a pretty clear vision of the Omega Project before you even set up shop in Aroa.
Fine. The idea of lethal drones isn't a new one. Quite the opposite. I've been working on the concept for more than a decade. But I was only ever concerned with what was possible. It was just an equation like any other. After I'd solved the design and engineering issues, I buried my work and steered the company as far away from weapons manufacturing as I could.
But when Miles gave you an excuse to dust off your plans, you couldn't resist.
I suspect our friend Daniel smelled a big score. He stole the blueprints and tried to sell them to his associates, which would have been catastrophic.
You're the one who pointed Daniel to Bowman. You had him killed.
That's ridiculous. Who do you think I am? I gave Daniel a push, but I had no idea what would happen. Look, I brought his family to Aroa. They still live in a house in Liberty, to this day.
Whatever helps you sleep at night, genius. Stay out of trouble.
Focus is my forte.
Lucky you found this place.
Rowan Brown knew about this place for a while. We figured sacred ground always makes good sanctuary.
That's pretty damp, though.
It's still a work in progress, all right? We've managed to stay under the radar so far. With all of you, our people, a bunch of Skeltech employees. I don't think you've got room to complain.
Hey, I'm not complaining. This place is great.
When you come around that corner, it's all blockaded off.
You said Maria's your old lady?
I'd jump into fire for that woman.
You met here? On Aroa?
She moved here as a child. She was about 20 when we got together. Some people find me prickly, if you can believe that. But she saw right through me. I've been searching my whole life for someone like her. She's as responsible for our success as Rowan and me.
You heard what happened?
I liked Fox. His girl's going to need caring for.
Maybe you could check in on Jace.
I think Erewhon seems to have done him some good. Any man who keeps his head after losing a friend like that deserves a chance.
It'd be a pretty island without all the military contractors and killer drones.
Used to be. I'd get some leave and just walk. I'd spend whole weeks just walking around with a pack on my shoulder.
Well, I'm probably getting my share of sightseeing.
These islands have changed hands so much, it's like a time capsule. I keep telling myself, one day, I'll get back out there, just see it all again before I'm too old to make the trip. Then again, who knows how far I'd get now.
So what happened here?
What didn't happen? Skeltec. It's utopia. This place was paradise before they showed up with their toys.
Come on. Digging in the dirt, worrying if you're gonna have a good crop, weathering hurricanes without any infrastructure, that's paradise?
It was ours. It meant something. These people came here and brought the devil with them.
People always bring the devil with them.
Those people out there, they brought a few extra and they can have them. We're gonna weather the storm here.
So you've got your people, but screw the rest of them.
I got enough people to think about.
Between Stone, Walker, and Paula Madeira, Jay Skell doesn't seem that good at keeping friends.
Nope.
I guess a rich guy like that, big tech boss, everybody must be wanting something from him.
Maybe. But if folks keep turning on you, sooner or later you gotta ask yourself what part you played.
Nah, you got used.
Dr. Madeira seems to feel like she's the one got used.
She's an engineer, so she's not a doctor.
Does that mean she's wrong?
I guess not. Did you hear? Jay Skell's been bleeding cash trying to cure the disease that Paula's husband got.
I don't get why that's a big deal.
Nobody's tried to cure it before because not enough people have it. Jace could spend millions on a cure and never see a profit.
Well, I guess he never did seem like a money-grubbing Scrooge.
I'll tell you, AI is running way too much out there.
When people started putting it all over their homes, that Internet of Things crap, that's when all doubt about homesteading left my mind.
We're 2 steps away from letting AI make all the big decisions.
Who do you think is making all them micro trades that move the stock market up and down? Who do you think decides if you get that home loan? Who analyzes all the population data that decides government policy?
You've thought about this.
Maybe you should think about it more. How much AI are you carrying onto the battlefield?
You expect a lot more of your people will find their way here?
There's plenty of room.
A lot of folks living in a confined space leaves a big signature. It's hard living on the run, hiding, living in fear. You're doing right by them.
We take them in, we leave them in the wild, same thing. Everything's a risk. At least here, I know people are getting what they need. It ain't perfect, I know, but it's the best solution I got for now.
I don't get how the drones aren't seeing you here.
Well, that's all Jericho. Set up special nets at the openings that hide us from the sensors. Cave walls, take care of the rest. It's a little smarter than I am, so I'll let you ask her if you need more technical details.
Yeah, thanks.
I'll talk to you later. See ya.